Hey everyone, Studio Drew here. There we go. Everybody even. There we go. Just wanted to do a quick video on another fabric Christmas ornament. This one is the one that I did last year. If you saw my first video, and I want to welcome and thank all of the new subscribers, I'm floored that after 2 years, all of a sudden, I have all these new followers and in a video that has over 2,000 views. Although I notice most people are only watching 5 minutes of it. So I'll try not to make this one very long. Anyway, fabric Christmas ornaments this year. It looks like a little flower or poinsettia, however you want to say poinsettia. What you will need: 2 contrasting Christmas fabrics, a light and a dark. It is to your taste and nobody else's. I chose red and green for this video. The size of your finished ornament is determined by how big your circle. What? Yep, this little square ornament starts off as a circle. You get your circle however means you get your circles. You can use a compass from grade school. Remember they're still out there. People still use them. I used a bowl, a soup bowl. I put the bowl down on a piece of paper, traced it, made a template, and there you have it. First things you want to have scissors, needle, thread, the 2 fabrics. Now I do a sewing machine stitch, but I've already done that because I didn't want to film sewing. Everybody can maybe possibly do a straight stitch on a sewing machine. So anyway, you take your contrasting fabrics, right sides together, 1/4 inch seam, leaving an opening. Now that one's, would you say, 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches? Got it? Next step, turn it right side out and press. This little bugger here, the opening that you left, is tricky. Now typically I top stitch down to close this and continue it all the way around, one continuous thread. Now if I was making this on my own for my tree, I most likely will use a matching thread and not a contrasting thread. However, for you, as you can see, I did top stitch down with a contrasting thread so that you can see what I did. Now, the fun part, making this happen. I did not top stitch this one. I think we've already covered that. All right, so however side you want to be the contrast. This one I chose the red. That goes on the inside. Here's the red on the inside. Now, fold it into half. And then half again and finger press. You get your markings there because you need to base stitch that there. And of course, do I have a threaded needle? I do. It's not knotted. And you see I've been painting my salon. I've got paint all over my nails. There's 100 million different ways to tie a knot in thread, so I'm not going to show you mine. You can double the thread or single the thread. I normally use button thread for my crafts, my hand sewing crafts. Alright, so you see we kind of have this little taco here, and we folded so we have our hat. So we need to secure both pieces right there. And you probably want to put your knot on the inside. I did not. Oops. Just a couple of times to make sure it's secure. Now, next step, I'm going to put the needle down. We need to take this that we've already finger pressed. Now that's where our little, I should have closed that up with the top stitch, but make sure it is evenly in half, and it is not, so now we need to adjust. That looks pretty good. So now we need to tack that piece down. And you're just doing a couple of stitches. Nothing complicated. I'm probably going to go in and hand stitch that opening closed because it should not be visible. It's probably confusing some people. Alright, so now, you see, we need to do the same thing for this part so that we have 4 equal sections. There's no magic way to measure where half is. I just find folding it and comparing to the previous side helps. You could mark it with a pencil or pen. Now this is not an original design, as my previous ornament. I learned it on YouTube. Almost everything that I have learned how to do in the past several years is from YouTube. Alright, now you want to make sure that that is nice and secure. We're already past 8 minutes. Oh boy, I like to ramble, I guess. Just anchor it. Alright, so you're left with this. It looks like this inside of a sand dollar. Forget that little opening there. That shouldn't be there. Alright, so push. Flatten it out. Until they all lay about as even as possible. Now you can press with an iron as you go, but I find that these ornaments look a little bit more organic if they're not pressed completely flat. You see what we got here? Now, next step, I'm going to get in there and turn out that corner. Takes a little fussing with. See how you're bringing out the petals of the flower or the bow or whatever it looks like to you. I always thought that it just looked like a 4-petal flower. If I can figure out how to make these with like more petals, I would love that. Because what flower has only 4 petals? Now, once you get the 4th one done, that's when you just kind of have to zhuzh it, as some would say. Just kind of fuss around a little bit until you get them all laying nice the way you want to. And there you have it. Now, to finish this one off, just like, I guess we're in the same place. Look at that. I do like this one with a little more gold in the background. And again, you can do the opposite and bring the grain forward by flipping it. But I like the red, as I said, for a flower. Now, there are multiple uses for one of these. You can use the 1/8 ribbon and just darning needle right through there, create a loop, and it's hanging on the Christmas tree. Use a nice shiny button so it reflects the lights. Or you can use these as present toppers. I guess there's a bunch of different ways that you can do these, and I wish that I had more here now to show you the finished product, but those are all at work, ready to be put up, because once the Christmas decorations go up, that's when clients can start choosing their ornament. See, I just threaded a needle. Now, I'm going to be perfectly lazy and push all the way through to the back, because that also secures this ornament just a little bit better. But there you have it. Not as pretty as this year's, I think, with the 5 or 6 different points, but this year only had 1 fabric, and this one has the 2. So I hope that you learned something. I hoped that if you happen across my channel, you'll like and subscribe. I think it's, where's that button over? Wherever the subscribe button is. Although I'm super honored that everyone has chosen to subscribe and follow my channel, and I hope that you have some fabric laying around. It doesn't even have to be Christmas, honestly, as long as it's pretty and contrasty. This here is just a red shiny fabric. Of course, I did buy it in the Christmas section, but anyway, have fun making your ornaments. Feel free to comment with pictures of your ornaments. That would be lovely to see. I would love to know that I've inspired you to create. Anyway, Merry Christmas to all of those ornament makers, and I will see you the next go round. Studio Drew out.